Welcome back to Jack Chaucer's Storyteller. Today we have Nikki White Polar Extremes Chapter 18. It's called Siberia on Steroids. Nikki's point of view, and it is still January 14th, 2020. The next chapter is February 14th, 2020. This picks up on right where we left off, shortly after we left off Chapter 17. After a visit to the base's medical clinic determined we had low-grade hypothermia and some dehydration, but no frostbite, Willem sat us down in the galley and grilled us. Even swaddled in a blanket nearly an hour after being rescued, I continued to shiver, burning my lips as I tried to sip hot cocoa. I didn't care. I had decided I'd prefer to die in a fire than out in the freezing cold. I focused on death to avoid thinking about having to plead with Thomas to provide me with body heat, about being so weak, frozen, lost, and desperate that he had to carry me before Willem arrived with the snowcat. The old man continued to skewer me with his probing green eyes, just as he did when Thomas placed me in the cat. So what would have happened if I didn't rescue you? Willem asked, his arms crossed over his chest. He wore a navy blue hoodie and probably never shivered in his life. Less than a mile to go. We probably would have made it, replied Thomas, who no longer needed a blanket and opted for a glass of milk instead of cocoa. Willem shook his head with vigor. Too slow and off course. There's a strong chance you would have walked right past the base and never seen it, if you even got that far. You were already carrying her. I was hung over, I confessed. The altitude and the cold were getting to me. No shit, William shot back like a wise ass. Maybe remember this near-death experience the next time Sam plies you with alcohol. He wasn't plying me. We were having a little fun, socializing. And it almost cost you your life, Willem said with a stern glare. What happens when there is no backup to bail you out? Will you be ready, or will you be drunk and stupid and unprepared like you were this time? Okay, I get it, I said. We'll find out soon enough, Willem said, rising out of his chair and leaving us in the empty galley at 4:45 a.m. Rather than look at Thomas, I stared out the big window. The storm had passed, and now the sun was glinting off the mirrored ball atop the barbershop pole. We sat there in silence for a long, awkward moment. I thought about all that had changed in just 2 weeks. It was way too much to process. Do you really want to be friends, or was that just the booze talking? I finally asked him. He smiled, but it was one of those smiles that made me feel uncomfortable at best. Who knows, he said. What does that mean? I enjoyed our hug out there, he said, smirking now. Don't even go there, I said, for warmth, for survival, in a ridiculous 40 below hungover hazing drill. I'm just saying. Saying what? You're single, I'm single, it's a cold, cold place, and we're both a long, long way from home. Whatever happens in, just shut up already, I said, gathering my blanket and preparing to walk out of there. You shot me, okay? So that's a deal breaker, he had the gall to ask? Are you seriously asking me that? I will never hook up with you, okay? I got up and looked down at him. Behind all his bullshit, I could sense there was a part of him that was serious. I wondered if he had ever had a real girlfriend. And B, I'm not single, I added. He squinted at me. Who? Who? None of your business. Snowbo? Already? Wow, you're a fast. Shut up. No, you don't know him, and it doesn't matter. I'm going to sleep now. He snapped me with his hand, and I recoiled. Just tell me who he is, and I'll never ask again. I was tired. What did it matter? We were thousands of miles apart. Bill Oz, okay? Are you satisfied now? Who? That's not even a real name. I sighed. William fucking Osborne. How's that? I'm going to bed now. I walked a few steps, and Thomas actually said, he's a lucky man. I spun around and stared at him for a second. He was doing a good job of pretending to be serious. No, he's not, I said sharply. He's a prisoner of the bridge like us. They just have him locked up somewhere much, much warmer. I've been to prison. This ain't prison, Thomas objected. I exhaled, happy only that I had finally stopped shivering. No, it's just Siberia on steroids, that's all. He laughed. Good one, he said. Good morning and good night, I said. That's the end of chapter 18. Next chapter, we jump ahead to February 14th, 2020, Valentine's Day. And that'll be from Nikki's point of view.